morning, everyone. We're a team from Peking University, and my colleagues, Gloria, Christina, and Richard, are very proud to provide our strategy for Zuji company based on our PTC model. And before my further illustration on what does this model means, I'd like to first introduce this company a little. Zuji is a very ambitious Hong Kong company, and it wants to become the Google in the industry in the Hong Kong market. However, we are even more ambitious. We do not want to simply provide our searching function. We're going to earn money directly from our customers and become the market leader in the niche market of Hong Kong OTA in 5 years. And this market leader is not only constrained to the number of clicks or how many search information we provide, but also how many money and how many profits we earn from them, with a value proposition of comprehensive, reliable, and personal. By comprehensive, we want to offer an application with one-stop shop function for our travelers in the form of applications on the mobile phone. And for reliable, we want to enhance our communication and security in terms of and to solve the pain points of Hong Kong travelers. And by personal, we want to increase our value-added products and services, and therefore, earn more premiums on each product. So, before my first illustration, I'd like to introduce the two key trends we've extracted from the Hong Kong market. The first is the rising of millennials, and the second is the mobile phone savvy. And they have two key features. First, the rising potential customers are very young. They may have very limited money, or they may be innovative, and this will be fully illustrated by my colleague Christina. And about the mobile savvy, nowadays Hong Kong young generations uses mobile phones every day for information. They share information with their friends and search information for their schools or travels, but really do they put a purchase with their mobile phones? And this is a point we want to put further and find more possibilities with our strategy. So, big time for our model. That is the PTC model, which means within our sales consists of platform uses multiply transfer rates multiply customer value. So what does that mean? As a company that originated from a company person simply providing information, within the platform is very important that you actually pull people that care about travels to your platform, and therefore increase the transfer rate, solve their pain points, and therefore to make direct money from them. And also we've identified several pain points during each process in this formula. First is about platform uses. Now the Zuji is actually doing well on its platform, and it's actually already one of the two leaders in the OTA industry. However, it is also criticized by its messy supply management, and we will also tackle this later. And about transfer rate, we think that there are two main pain points in the Hong Kong travelers. First, they worry about security of e-commerce, and second, they prefer face-to-face communication within the traditional Hong Kong traveler. And my colleague Gloria will illustrate this further. And for customer value, we want our products to be more personal and instantaneous. That's more value adding to our customers, and therefore increase our sales as a whole. So welcome Richard for the first part of our strategy.
So I'm very proud to introduce to you our platform building strategy to build our platform to be a more comprehensive platform. Before we actually go to our strategy, let's rehearse some key trends that Nicole has just mentioned. As you can see, actually our customers of our website, not only our website, actually the whole industry has been converting from the web platform to the mobile apps to a great extent. And the lack of low cost, and also since the millennium has been the major consumers of the OTA market, so actually they're actually boosting the demand for low cost carriers. and also customers of OTA industry has been emphasizing more on airline management because they don't want their booking on the online market to be cancelled by actually the airline companies just due to the miscooperation between these two platforms. So actually our goal today is to build a user-friendly mobile app with a very good technology and comprehensive functions, and also we're going to do very good supply chain management, mainly in the airline companies. And so we're actually going to tackle both the demand and supply part of this industry. And first came the mobile app building strategy. So actually, we're going to leverage as the Ctrip's technology to build our mobile apps to be a more comprehensive one, because Ctrip has already been an established mobile app and OTA supplier in the mainland market. So we believe that their technology is actually very good to function well in our mobile app. And also, we're going to incorporate a lot of functions like registration, online booking, payment, and information feedback and remarks in our mobile apps to make this mobile app even more comprehensive. Besides, we're going to promote with collaborators like other information providers. They're also based in the travel industry, but it specifies in providing delicious foods and providing the sightseeing, the tickets for those sightseeing places. In different divisions, but mainly in the travel industry. And since there is no conflict between the major interests of our traveling platform, who has been majoring in the airlines and hotels, and they are actually in the sightseeing and food, there is no conflict. So we believe that this collaborators will be more than willing to promote our mobile apps, and so we can both achieve a synergy in this case. Also, we're going to provide a discount to attract new users. New users for our mobile app can actually enjoy up to 50% and 50% discount in their first purchase of the airline tickets or the first purchase of the hotels, which is a very good stimulation policy that will actually attract a lot of users to our mobile apps. And through these 4 solutions, we're actually going to attract more mobile users to our platform and also provide a very comprehensive solution for those users. So how are we going to do our supply management? Mainly in the airline industry. First of all, we're going to import the low-cost carriers to satisfy the millennials travelers' demand. And also, we're going to, since we want to provide very accurate, very high quality service and information, so we're going to build an instantaneous information system which directly links our platform to the airline company's official website to provide very up-to-date and efficient information. We're actually going to when the user has just logged in our website, he will get the most up-to-date information of our website, and we're going to refresh our website every 15 minutes when the user has opened the website. Since the user has opened the website, to make sure that when he places the order, his information is the most accurate and most up-to-date to cancel those misordering. And also, we're going to do a commission distribution system with our airline system providers, because this commission actually will place those airline companies in a large to be a large stakeholder in this deal, so they will be more willing to provide us a very stable source of services because they earn more money. And through this 3 strategies, we're actually going to provide a very economical trip plan, and we're going to improve the registration success rate to a great extent. Now let's welcome Laura.
Thanks, Richard. So, given that we have a lot of people gathering in our platform, how can we enhance the transfer rate to transfer those information searcher into service buyers? So first, let's step back and see what are the pain points in our consumers. So there are 2 concerns they have. The first one is the e-commerce security, and for the second one, they prefer face-to-face communication. So these 2 are the pain points, especially for our Hong Kong customers. So these reflect into the huge difference between these 2 markets, and we especially want to leverage on our strategy to punch into these pain points. So this comes to our first strategy, that what we want to enhance their confidence in our e-commerce security by introduce the third-party guarantee. So you can see in this flow chart that their money actually comes to us as Zuji as a OTA, and then comes to the suppliers. So if they care about that, whether the hotels, rooms, and the air tickets I book is real, are they real? Then we can provide them the certificates on these suppliers. Then we'll assess those suppliers for them, and we'll give them the certificates to assure this kind of concern. And the second one, we want to, if they are care about that, whether I pay in advance and those money may, and even though I cannot travel there, my money will gone. So how can we solve this problem? We'll keep the money in our platform, and as soon as the deal is closed, we'll provide those money to our suppliers. And if there's if the deal cannot be done, we will refund to our customers instantly. And for the third, we want to use those user reviews and remarks to reinforce the credibility of our platform and also the suppliers. So together, these three approach will help us to build an image that we are the reliable companion for your travel. So here comes to our second approach, that we really want to improve the customer service. And we noticed that the face-to-face communication really costs a lot. So we want to step back and choose the telephone customer service. And we noticed that, and let's make a contrast between these two, which is the web-based tools and also the telephone. And we noticed that the web-based tools really, there are namely emails, Facebook, and also other direct online service, which is indirect and impersonal, and there sometimes can be time-consuming, and you don't know what you can expect from the reply. However, when you deal with those customer service via telephone, you can get instantaneous and also interactive direct communication. So we provide you these two steps action plan. So for the first, we'll introduce the telephone customer service into our platform, and we'll standardize them and also provide 24/7 service to better serve our customers. And second, when our customer base get larger in the future, we'll outsource our service into some Cantonese-speaking area, like some place in Guangdong province, to lower our labor cost. And together, we think this two approach can help us to establish a platform shape that we are reliable and personal service provider for your traveling. Let's welcome.
Thanks for Richard's and Gloria's respective introduction on the platform and transfer part. Now let's come to the customer value part. What is our value proposition? We think that we have a slogan, travel for you anytime. You replies tailored, and anytime represent instantaneous. First, how can we achieve a tailored trip? We will use the big data support, and you can see in the flow chart, in the view of the web page, we will say where you want to go, and in the booking of your travel, we will say how you want to travel, and in the payment, we can say how much you're willing to pay, and in the fourth one, the comment, we will focus on how do you feel, and we will collect those data to support our improvement of our service, and we are going to provide a very tailored recommendation for you, and we will adjust our product. And secondly, how about the instantaneous? And secondly, let's come to a more macro scope of the word. We select two dimensions. The first dimension is the travel time, and second dimension is the distance. And we recognize that in Hong Kong, because the life pace is very rapid, so we like to travel we like to make a short distance travel within the shortest time. However, in China, we may have a long time travel within short distance. In Singapore, long distance and shorter time, and in Australia, maybe very relaxing country, right? We have long travel time and long distance. And we will see our major operation as in Hong Kong. However, we will expand in the market in China, and we will also focus on the Singapore and Australian market. And how about the next proposition, that is instantaneous trip? Actually, we have our customer image. We have planet traveler, urgent traveler, and passive traveler, and each traveler has different willingness to pay on prices and on time. And we will make the price discrimination, and we will add more premium to those customers who book the last minute before they start to travel. And after the customer value part, we will come into our implementation of our whole PTC model. And as you can see, we map out a 5-year timeline from 2016 to 2021. And in 2000, and give the budget accordingly. In 2017, we're going to launch the Zuji app application, and in 2016, we're going to cooperate with low-cost airline. In 2018, we're going to induce third-party guarantee. In 2020, we're going to outsource our telephone service. However, within the 5 years, we're going to expand our customized products and prices. And based on the strategic timeline, we are also going to make some quantitative forecasts and qualitative remarks. For the quantitative part, as you can see, for the macro market share, we are going to surpass the number one, that is Hong Tai Airline, to become the second in our OTC market, and we claim 4% of the whole market share. And for the micro scope, we are going to use the scenario analysis. If we implement our strategy, we're going to expect a very rapid growth of our revenue, and the revenue growth rate from 3.2 per year to that high. And we can see at the first stage, the revenue grows rapidly. At the second stage, this growth rate slows down. However, if we do not implement our strategy, we will expect the revenue growth actually remain the same at the very beginning, but will decline in the long term. And before we go into our qualitative part, let's review the value proposition we made at the very beginning. We have comprehensive platform, reliable transfer, and personal customer, right? And for the comprehensive part, we think after our strategy, we will integrate the airline and hotels to our application platform. For the reliable part, we will say that the customer actually can pay Zuji, and after the transaction, the Zuji will pay the supplier, and the customer can comment on the supplier, and the supplier will get credit for good service. For the personal part, we're going to ensure you travel everywhere, anytime, and whatever you want. And after the quantitative forecast and qualitative remark, we are going to recognize 3 risks: the competition from hotels' online bookstores, the negative comments, and the data security against privacy. Faced with so many risks, how can we recognize our priority? We come up with a new model. We call it the risk expectation model. We select the impact dimension and the probability dimension. We recognize that the competition from the online booking store has the highest probability and the biggest impact, so we rank it number 1. And accordingly, we recognize our number 2 and number 3 risk. Based on this risk, we are going to make some mitigation part. For the competition, we are going to cooperate with hotels. For the negative comment, we will get reward for hotels with good comments. And for the data security, we are going to give options for recommendation. And in summary, we're going to make the PTC model. What is PTC model? Platform users, multiples, transfer rate, multiples, customer value. And we are going to make a very comprehensive, reliable, and personal Zuji. We firmly believe in the future of this company. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. And judges, do you have any questions? Thank you very much for a very comprehensive presentation. You've given me a very strong analysis of where you think your business model goes and what you need to do. How do you think the customer reaction is, given that if you look at the market, actually, online travel booking is a relatively small portion and still people rely very much on that face-to-face experience that you mentioned. So how do you feel your business model compares with someone who is an industry leader, such as Hongtai and Wing On Travel? Now, Wing On Travel also has, both what I would call a bricks and mortars and online strategy. So how can you, through this platform, I guess, expand the online travel? Do you think it's enough to really get the people comfortable, given that your competitors have such a strong presence and market share?
Okay, I will answer the first question about the competitor parts. We know from this material that Hongtai do have an online platform. However, it's only constrained to the website, but not extend into the mobile platform. And we think it fails to catch the trend with the rising of mobile usage. And second, it's about its website. And it's actually problematic because first, it's not interactive enough. And second, it provides more information rather than service because the most of its customers only search information or compare prices or choose the packages on its website and use the telephone to book. So that's our advantage because we build a one-stop shop mobile application, and therefore the rising young generations can use use our application on their favorite mobile phones and to complete all this function if they want to travel.
Yeah, and after the analysis of the competitor part, I will complement to our customer part. Actually, we have three uniqueness about online platform compared to the traditional travel agency. First is the price comparison, because we have a more convenient way to compare different price. So our price may be lower than the traditional travel agency. And secondly is the flexibility. For the traditional travel agency, you have to book maybe 1 week ahead of your time. But however, if you have first you have emergency, you have to go to China tonight. How can you book? Secondly, if you are very young people and you want to travel when you want, and how can you get immediately where you want to live tonight? And we think we have more flexibility than the traditional travel agency. And thirdly is that we have very clear position on our market. About the age, we are targeted as the young people because they are more used to the mobile phone, right? And secondly, about the region, we are targeted at Hong Kong mainly, but we will expand to China because we think these are very two promising market and they are facing an upgrading opportunity in travel agency.
Thank you. I have a question. You mentioned quite early on in your presentation that you need to attract more mobile users. Okay. That's actually a very large undertaking. From what I've heard, it seems like your proposal or your strategy proposal, you're still thinking about the existing customer base, and as it is, you've already also mentioned that the larger part of this travel business, the customers are the ones that prefer face-to-face and actually going to a travel agency. So what is your strategy in expanding your customer base? How do you do that?
Okay, first for those traditional travelers, they may plan about family travels, so they are like in the middle age or do not used to the payment on the mobile phone due to the security concern. So our strategy is to first provide more security for them to convince them that is existing customer base, and also we want to provide budget plan by collaborating with the low-cost carriers and also by providing more cost-efficient package plans for our younger customers. For example, if I'm a college student, I may not have enough money to travel because the agency they charge very high fees for their personal interaction or such services. However, when I open the application on my mobile phone, I can compare the price and see so many cheap and affordable plans for me. And therefore, they are the mobile phone user. They are more accessible to our application, and also we cater for their interests and attract them to travel instead of be stuck by the high price.
Also about like the face-to-face interaction or just book online. Majorly, I believe that those millennium young travelers, they are not standing for themselves. They actually may be standing for their own family because every young millennium may have parents, and maybe when they are growing up, actually they will have like more voice in this family. Maybe they will have the power to like advise to the parents. We should make our family trip plan like this, and we should book from the online markets because they're cheaper. And when they have more voice in this family, they will change the family's consumption, the family consumption habits, especially on the traveling part. So I believe that will be the moment when the face-to-face interaction moves to the online market. And also we have been providing so much like security plans to ensure the safety and our responsibility for your safety travel. So we believe that through all those strategies, we're actually like pulling those face-to-face customers to our online platform. Thank you.
I got 3 questions here. For this PTC model, is it something invented by your team or is something from the books?
We created due to cater for this case.
It's very innovative because to a traditional accountant, sales is usually equivalent to volume times rate. But on that part, I'm very impressed. On the whole presentation, my personal feeling is it seems like an apply to all scenario. On this case, we are talking about Zuji, and we are trying to find a winning strategy for Zuji. But why your team think that in your presentation the competitive advantage of Zuji is not mentioned, and how Zuji can make use of this competitive advantage to develop a strategy? This is my second question. And the last question is, in most of the presentation, you mentioned about costs. People book online because of lower costs. But is it really the situation? And why do you guys believe that people book online just because they want to find the lowest cost travel plans?
Thank you for the question. I will handle about the scenario one. That it seems that our strategy is for all online travel agencies, right? But actually the data and the suggestion we give is based on the specific firm. Firstly, about the region. Actually, we just see the financials about Zuji, and we saw it that the largest market of Zuji is in Hong Kong, as you can see in the world map. And Zuji ranked number 3 in Hong Kong market share. So we think that Zuji will have a market segmentation, and we choose 4 promising markets for Zuji, and this is a tailored suggestion regarding the region. And secondly, regarding to the age, we are not going to spare average power on every age group, but we are focusing on the millionaire. And what is our unique advantage about Zuji? Actually, Zuji has 14 years history, right? And in the development history of Zuji, we can see that Zuji is seeking cooperation with different different partners like Yahoo and like other competitors. So we think that the partnership will enable Zuji to grasp the young people from different regions, like who like to surf the internet and who like a very shorter trip. And this is about the age. And after the region selection and the age selection, and we tailored the specific value proposition for Zuji that is comprehensive, reliable, and personal.
Okay, why is this extremely suitable for Zuji rather than its competitors? We have two reasons. First, it's originated as an OTA rather than combine the offline and online things like its competitors. So it actually specialized in this niche market, and this is the reason why our strategy can become its main focus. And for Hongtai, its focus is mainly on the offline retail shops where the consultants. So it cannot be their main focus. However, for us, we are specialized in this area, so this strategy is extremely suitable for us rather than there. Also, the second reason is that this is a general model, but beside each process, beside each point, we have our tailored solutions for Zuji. That's how we solve the pain points for their targeted customers, or how they solve their historical problems in their platform, etc.
Can I ask a question on your supply management? So you showed a slide earlier about how you're going to manage the suppliers to give also comfort to your customers around the security. Okay? So your security proposition involved if they pay in advance, you don't pay the suppliers until the deal is done. So I'm assuming, can you expand what do you mean by the deal is done? The booking is made, or until the person actually travels?
So I'll handle this question. Actually, we did not invent it. We borrow it from the very famous Chinese platform like Taobao. Because when we are on Taobao, we already we bought something and we pay it, but the money will kept on Taobao's platform. And then once we received the product and we sign or we confirm that we received that, the payment will be shipped to the supplier. So this function as the same.
How do you think that will impact your supplier relationship?
Yeah.
Because airline companies typically will not, hotel companies, hotels you can pay after the end of your stay. But airlines typically you pay the moment you get on the seat. If you look at the OTA industry, you're about 10% of the total travel sector, right? So there are other travel agencies who may not necessarily be paid only upon the point, or releasing the money upon the point the customer is on the plane. So do you think that's actually disadvantageous to you in terms of your price negotiation with the airline company for seats? So for an offline travel agency, the moment they receive payment, they can pay in advance. Do you think they might actually get better terms than you?
Actually, this is our scenario behind the screen that our customer would not see it. So behind screen, this may be one solution, because Zuji is a joint venture of several airline companies. So it actually has very good connections with them. So in terms with those airline companies, or the others, we may not apply this strategy to all of them. We would only apply this to those that is the most suitable. And for those airlines that we already have good connections and credibility, this may not be necessary.
And this for the supply part. For the demand part, actually we adopt the price discrimination strategy. That means for the normal part, if you book in advance, we will provide the money maybe immediately to our airline supplier. And this makes no difference, and this is no advantage. But how about the latter part? If I want to book the ticket for tomorrow, and I will charge amount to 30% of premium. This is a time premium. For customer, you get the time you want to get, and for supplier, you get the money you want to get. And we think this is a win-win strategy.
Also, a little quick answer to your prior question about cost. And we believe that with you do not have to provide to rent the very expensive Hong Kong, places, and you don't have to hire very expensive Hong Kong laborers. So that is the main reason why the cost is much lower right now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.